Alright, without further ado, welcome adventurers to another episode of D20 Theater. First things first, you know what, actually? Do we want to announce the winner now of last week's giveaway? Or do we want to wait till our mid-episode break?
We better wait.
I think we'll wait. Just for fun.
We'll string you
Keep
along.
that suspense, right?
We're nice guys.
Somebody won.
That said, next week we have another brand new sponsor, and I have a little teaser here of the giveaway that they're doing for us. What could be in this metal case? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So,
It's a puppy.
when last we left our heroes.
When last we left our heroes, they defeated the dragon Agamemnon, who was the lord of that particular dungeon. Thus, we in fact defeated a dungeon in a dragon, fulfilling both requirements of the name of our current game. We struck down the dragon, which caused our warlord to lose his warlock level, thus freeing him from the intense ire of the silencer in his party, which was probably for the best for party strife, or lack thereof. From defeating the dragon, we gained enough gold to allow the mining company to go around the temple rather than through it, as well as to pay off half of the debt that our druid had foolishly accrued.
4/10.
4/10. Beg your pardon. The wizard's got to make rent somehow. So, fair point. From the temple, we have begun making our way towards the town of which town is it? One of the bluffs.
Piren's
Bluff, where we're going to the line.
Yeah.
Because that's where Aegherdt the Bold currently is. And on our way to the line, we encountered Piren's Bluff and noted, there appears to be banners in the city of a make and sigil that we do not recognize. Outside of the city...
It means rain. It means rain.
Anyway. Haley thinks it means rain. It's effectively as helpful as Sam thinking that the rope was the most important thing in the murder investigation.
It's true.
Outside the city were a bunch of Thermocathy banners, so clearly the Loyalist army was outside there. So we went inside the city, posing as merchants. I'm a smith, whose monosyllabic name has actually slipped my mind because of how long it's been. So I'm going to go with Ted.
Trafe?
Trafe! There we go. Man, well done.
Yeah.
Nice. We have someone, the yarn salesman. Donner, the yarn salesman.
Yep.
And a couple slaves. And a flower.
And Carter.
Oh, and Carter. Right, and Carter.
Nullius is being Carter.
He's being Carter.
So he is.
Which is different than being John Malkovich.
Are we still
But,
doing that? Are we still?
Yeah, we're still undercover. We were able to visit a loyalist who was the former lady, Lord Humanus of Thermocath. She's currently the alchemist in town, the herbalist in town.
Yeah, that's what her job was before she was
Right,
Lord
and then she was Lord
yeah.
Humanus, and then she decided, I like that better. So we also visited the smith and got kitted out with acceptable weaponry. And we found a dog yard where we purchased a tiny, useless puppy and a big, scary mountain dog. Mountain of a dog, I should say. Whose name is not actually Heracles, but might as well be. And then we found that the apprentice to the dog yard guy, Cooper, I believe.
That's it.
Who was the nephew of the lord of the town, who is probably up to his neck in some bad stuff, worshipping some kind of strange god, having declared himself an independent lord. Bad news. Then his nephew was kidnapped, and that is actually where we're going to pick up right there, having witnessed the nephew being bundled up and taken away. I think we were about to begin pursuit.
That's it. Now, of course, it was while you were sleeping. Those of you who were sleeping outside are the ones who saw this happening. I know UI saw this. Was there anyone else?
Sam was there.
In the flower.
Oz.
So UI, you see this hooded guy dragging Cooper into an alleyway.
Yeah. Didn't we do something about this? Didn't I run inside?
You were going to,
You were going to, but then
we called it.
Oh. Well, I run inside.
Okay.
And I just start yelling various things. Kidnapped, fire, thief. All the words that would make people go, oh no!
The innkeeper, Lucky Bin, comes running out, and he's got a bucket, and he immediately starts sloshing water around, and he goes, "Where's the fire? Put it out immediately!"
I think we're probably running downstairs also, having heard just UI
And then
yelling.
I just point outside and I say, I apologize, but I didn't know how else to get you awake. There's a kidnapping.
Oh. Well, then I suppose I won't be needing this.
He looked important. Who was it?
Cooper.
It's Cooper.
The Baron's half-wit nephew?
Yeah.
Oh, serves him right.
Okay, at what point have we gotten downstairs?
And then you all end up downstairs
Barreling downstairs.
with Nullius as well. He's coming down with you as well.
What happened?
Well, I say word for word everything I just said.
We're going that way. As I head outside, I give a sharp whistle, and my war pig comes hustling over so I can hop onto his back and head off in pursuit of where she pointed that the hooded figure had gone.
Alright, yeah, so you start heading off that way, and by far being the fastest mounted atop this war pig.
Oh, but
I mean,
You're
she's
pretty fast too.
You mounted
Alright.
it,
I'm
Brandon?
the
Oh, of
fastest.
course.
Even
So,
with the war
well, but yours can just instantly come. He's got to go actually on
I gotta go
hitches
run outside.
behind the stable. So, as he goes to do, or are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As he goes to do that, the two of you head off ahead. Do you want to wait for him?
Well, I can. I know a phantom steed, so I could take 10 minutes and probably catch up.
Well, 10 minutes, yeah.
Dear
But
Lord. 100 feet speed on that phantom
We'll
steed.
see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
Seems-
the two of you pull into the alley, and you can see that there's 4 doors in this alley. And then there's a fence at the end with a gate in it.
I'm gonna use divine sense. See
Okay.
if I sense any fiends, fey, or undead besides the little tiny
Within?
ones. Within 60 feet.
Okay, not within 60 feet, no.
And so I just kind of look at you and go, "I'll take left."
I'll take right.
Right. And I'm gonna just throw my shoulder into the first door on the left.
Do the phone.
Well, I guess I'll make a survival or perception check real quick just to see if I see any.
You can do
more
survival to
recent
look for tracks, yeah.
Ooh, pretty good. Just a flat d20 roll, but how's a 17 treat you?
17 is really good. Unfortunately, the cobblestone makes it very, very difficult. There aren't any actual tracks.
Yeah, I
Looking
should check
around,
and see
you
if
can
the board
see.
can do that because that.
You can see that there is some dust, and had you been a bit more skilled, maybe you'd be able to tell where it's been disturbed. But you're not really used to reading.
Right. Okay.
patterns.
First door then.
All
And
right.
then, Brandon.
Oh, roll me a strength check.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. 18.
18. All right, you slam into the door and it flies open. Immediately, a man in bed sits up and he goes, "Oi! Who the hell are you?" And he starts reaching for a sword that's over.
Did she describe the guy? Just a hooded figure.
She just said a hooded figure.
Hooded figure kidnapped. You seen him?
What the hell are you talking about? Get out my house!
Keep an eye out. And I close the door.
Idiot.
Room service.
You just take the broom and start swinging.
Housekeeping.
I have a broom. We can do that next time.
And
Next time.
you're opening the right door.
And I'll head up to the
Yeah,
next
I am
one.
doing the right door.
No, dude, I want to do the next one.
Another
That's
strength
fascinating.
check, I guess.
All right.
You want to do help? Let's do help.
That'll be help.
Yeah? Okay.
I have to make my
I mean,
character
you-
back.
you can.
This sucks.
You'll just beat me to the door.
Alright, new dice.
Yeah.
First one was a just flat strength or athletics?
Flat strength, yeah.
Okay. Well, 16.
16, all right, yeah, you slam open the door, and as you open it, the door just sort of swings open, and you can see what looks like a small house, basically. It's furnished on the inside, but there doesn't appear to be anyone home.
I gingerly walk back out.
All right. Other door?
Yeah, but I think she probably beat me to it because
Okay.
I was taking time doing that.
No, it's okay. I won't be stupid.
I'll-
It's fine.
Okay, I'll run up at the same time that you get there if you want to do it.
I'll like wait,
All right.
and then I'll open the door. And
Roll me a
I'll
strength
just-
check.
Okay, and I'll. Well, let's wait till I open the door, just in case. Woohoo! It's a no.
What was it?
You
Oh,
grab
my
the
strength is like a
handle and
one.
start sort of wiggling it, but
You got a
it's
9?
definitely barred.
I got a 9.
Oh, it's barred.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
the other ones have been, too.
Okay.
Because
I,
locks
sort
would
of,
have been fairly expensive.
I step to the side and I just go.
Take a running start and jam my shoulder into it. Let's see. 16.
16.
Just a flat string.
All right,
Yeah.
you slam into it and just sort of bounce off of it a bit.
Oh, it didn't go.
It didn't
I'll
budge
try
quite.
again.
All right.
Can I help him?
Sure.
There you go, Greg.
Together now.
Well, no.
It's because I.
All right.
She
You
was not
slam
helpful.
into it again, and as you rear back to slam into it again, the door opens. And you sort of stumble in.
I start
and
yelling,
there's-
help!
There's a woman there, and she says, "What is it? What racket is this?"
Hooded figure kidnapping. You seen him?
A hooded figure? No, I haven't. Well, who's been kidnapped?
Cooper.
The half-wit nephew of the Baron.
That's what everyone calls him, you know.
Good for him.
That's what half-wit sons are for. It's his middle name. Cooper, the half-wit son of the Baron. Smithers.
Smithers.
Right. Was there another way out of this alley besides
Yeah,
the
there's
4 doors?
the other door on the right, and then there's the gate at the end of the alley.
Maybe the gate.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm just heading for the gate. Then.
All right, you want to get the other door?
I will.
Sorry.
At this point, the man and the woman are both leaning out of their respective houses, just kind of looking like, what is going on?
And then I run
Some
very
dwarf on a
fast.
pig, and then her.
I run very fast, just like.
Am I on my? I'm on my hoof.
Yeah, you could get on your hoofy.
Okay,
right now.
great.
Yeah.
But so we're going to another door.
You're doing
Yeah.
the last door.
Okay.
And I'm going to the gate.
Okay. No. 5.
All right, you run up to the door on your hoofy, and your hoofy rears up, and like you're trying to get it to kick the door, and it just lands back on the ground.
Come on.
Nope.
Do it.
Of course.
Oh, useless.
You wanna try again?
Yes, I would like to try.
All right.
I get off the horse and I do it
Alright.
myself.
All right.
Oh, that's not cocked.
You should have stayed on the horse.
12.
You slam a foot into it, and the door kind of rattles.
Should have
Do it
let
again.
the horse do it.
Do it again.
Turn the horse around. It does better that way.
7.
Oh man, you've now put a break in the door,
Nice.
and you hear, "Hold on now, hold on, you're gonna ruin good wood." And a guy comes over and he's looking real sleepy, and he opens the door, and he says, "Now what are you doing at this hour trying to get in my house? I thought you'd be the guards. You don't look like a guard."
No, I'm not a guard, but I was just curious. I'm sorry to wake you up, but do you know of
You see like 4 kids looking at you from behind him, and a woman still sitting in bed watching.
Right, you or your family, very nice family by the way, who has seen Cooper? He's missing.
Well, couldn't this have waited till morning?
No, I really can't.
Well, I imagine he'd either be in the castle or perhaps over in the dog yard.
Well, he got kidnapped, so probably not.
Oh, well,
So I guess you don't have any answers for me then.
no, but I suppose sometimes that's all you can expect from a half-wit nephew.
All right, here you go, sir. On your way. And I give him 2 gold for the door, and then I leave.
Could buy a new door for that. He puts it in a
Or a
pouch.
lot of yarn.
And
A lot
the
of
kids are
yarn.
all like looking at the gold.
Bye.
Bye now.
All the other people who were looking out the window, like, we didn't get any gold.
Yeah, now you see the 2 of them kind of look at each other and go,
Is that a bar? I don't know what to do. They don't know have
We're going to the gate.
any answer.
We're going to the
Alright.
gate.
you swing open the gate. It's very easily opened. It's not locked or barred or anything. It has a latch on it, but it doesn't seem to be, secured. You can just flip it up. You fling open the gate, and you can see ahead there's a ladder leading up to the top of one of the buildings in the alleyway, and the alleyway continues to open up back into the street on the other side.
No, there's one of each.
I'll go up. You're on the pig.
No,
so-
I'll keep going.
So you head forward and you find your way to the street, and looking around, it opens
know
up
if you
real
find
wide
something.
here. You can see several other nearby alleyways, but the street is very, there's several directions you could have gone from here.
Lord, may I give me guidance.
Up on the rooftop, click, 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 you go running.
We're good, Saint Aelbard.
So you go running across the roof, and you can see that there's a small sort of structure on top of one of the buildings. It looks like sort of a secondary dwelling that was added on later, almost like the mother-in-law house. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
But I don't see any, like, in the alleyways. I don't see anything.
Right.
Well, I feel bad. But I'm gonna open that door.
All right, you go up
Don't
to
feel
it,
bad. It's from
and as you get to this one, you try to slam into it, and it makes like a metal against metal sound, like it's locked.
Well, I can't open it anyway.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot, I start like making crow noises, like caw, caw,
That's what crows do.
but like really bad and poor, and it's very obvious it's not a crow,
Because
but
that
I'm
was
trying to be a crow.
It's real good.
That's my signal. He told me to give him a signal.
I'm rolling.
Aw.
I'm rolling insight.
Roll madness. Roll madness.
roll madness. No, I'll roll insight. It's a flat 14. Oh no, got a thing. 17. Yeah, okay. No, I think that's probably something UI would do. So,
It is.
huh. All right, that'll work. I give kind of a baffled glance to the sky above me, and then head back to the ladder and start climbing up.
All right. You get to the top, and you can see you're struggling against this locked door.
All right. Is he coming with?
Are you?
Has he had enough time?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I after that last one, I just went out to go meet up with them. So I don't know how long that would take.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time. I mean, it's very small area.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm with them now.
So we're going up the ladder.
All
We get over there,
Great, yeah.
and now it's
Yeah.
locked.
I just sort of like look at you.
Of
like,
course
oh,
it is.
Duh. Why would I have called you? But like, that's the face I'm giving you.
Right. I'll step up and kind of like brace the door against the jam so that it won't rattle.
Okay.
Go ahead. So I'm
Is
helping
that
him.
advantage?
Yeah.
All right, 17 this time.
You slam a foot into it, and it kind of bows a bit in the center, but it doesn't stay that way.
Are you bracing it the right way?
Just hit it again.
Here we go. All right, 21.
All right, and the door shatters as you slam your foot into it again. Your boot breaking the boards in the center. You can see that in this small space now, there's a guy in a green hooded cloak and a leather tunic over some sort of white longer tunic, and he's holding a dagger to the throat of Cooper, who is unconscious.
Oh. I
He
don't
says,
have any
"Not
rage."
one more step. Stay right where you are."
Right. What do you want?
I think the question is, what do you want, and who are you? You don't look like people of Piren's Bluff.
No, we're not. You are right. But why do you have Cooper?
Why do you care?
Because he is important.
Why?
Unfortunately.
In Elven, I say, because he's in half-wit, son of the Baron.
I'm with nephew of the Baron.
But
He
it's
says-
Elvish.
So you're aligned with the Baron then,
But
in
it's-
Elvish.
What?
What-
In Wood Elven specifically.
What did he say?
I look very shocked. And now I don't know what to do, because do I hold up the guys? Are we still yarn salesmen? Or this heck could ruin our whole thing.
Hey, what did you say to her?
You're in league with the Baron then?
No.
She says he's important to you because he's related to the Baron.
The Baron is important in this town. Anyone related to him is important. That's how this works. You want to bring the whole of the town guard on your head.
No, that's why I took him in the middle of the night, where no one but the paupers on the street could see.
Unfortunately, we know this pauper.
Wrong, Papa.
Quick question, out of character. We're trying to talk to the Baron, right? We want to get an audience with him or something?
Well, maybe. That might be the first step.
Yeah, we kind of want him.
You want to figure out what's going on, and ideally maybe kill him, if need be.
Okay, so we want to get close to him.
I
Right.
mentioned that we should have an audience with him.
So then I say in Elvish that we're trying to get the Baron's favor so that we might speak with him.
He kind of eyes you curiously, and he says, "That's a lovely flower you wear in your hair."
I sort of
What?
look, I like pat my head and I'm like, oh, all right.
A bit out of season now.
This takes 5 points. Of
Oh, well, I
damage.
showed the other ones and I'm like, I found a couple.
He nods and he says, "Yes, but take a look at the colors. and the others are all their autumn or their winter colors, while the one that is in your hair is not.
Why?
What an
I can't
idiot.
think.
That seems like something Oz would do.
Yeah.
I can't think. if
This one is
Oz-
prettiest to you, eh?
I can't think if Oz knows the old speech, but in the old speech, I'm just gonna say, "You idiot! Why didn't you pay attention to the season?"
Because he's an idiot. I reply in the old speech.
And in the old speech, he says, it seems your druid is an idiot.
What is going on? I know that wasn't Elfin.
Alright, I walk into the door. I shuffle us all in. Are you with us for
I
this?
said, no closer!
I think I'm still
Stop,
natural
stop.
casting.
I, in the old speech, say, unfortunately, this is important. We're not going to hurt you.
You can see a drop of blood starting
We're
to
no
trickle
friends of
down.
the Baron. We just don't want anyone else to die that doesn't have to.
Right.
Let the boy go, we can talk.
Who sent you?
We sent ourselves.
Ourselves. Are we speaking
You
common
say
now?
you're no friends to the... Yes. He says, you say you're no friends to the Baron. Then who are your friends?
Literally everyone else.
he does laugh and he says, I imagine that can't possibly be true.
It's
Well, that and the orcs, you're right. But listen, what do we say to him?
I am a silencer at the Church of Lorimier.
You're with the Thrym then.
Yes, but my loyalty is to the Church, first and foremost. And we don't wish to see innocent blood shed.
He keeps the one hand out. He sort of tightens his grip with his right arm around Cooper, switching basically the knife from here to being on this side as he holds him around the neck. And he pulls back his cloak, and you can see the symbol of a Blackguard Ranger, but the symbol is scorched. Anyone can roll a history check on that.
Okay.
Except me.
I don't know anything about anything.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh!
You probably catch up by this point.
18.
I'm gonna be going door to door. Like, hey, where
18,
did these people
18.
go?
So
With a plus
a
1.
scorched symbol of the Blackguard Rangers represent those blackguards that sided with Cainith.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
so those who sided with Cainith scorched the leaf of their symbol as a sort of
In
show of
solidarity.
in solidarity with Narwain. And so he says, well, it seems though we share an enemy. We also share one another as enemies. But a great man once said, the enemy of my enemy is a problem for later. For now, he may be useful. And he just drops Cooper on the ground, and he sheathes his dagger. And he
Well met,
says,
Blackguard.
well met, Silencer. Something's going on in this place. This Baron. The king sent me here to investigate.
The king
Yes.
of
His-
Thermocath.
No.
His king.
The one true king. The rightful king of all men. The king across the sea.
And that would be...
King Philip of the Outlanders,
Right.
the Thrym, and of Narwain.
Ah, you're with Norwain.
No, Narwain is with the king, and I am with the king.
I slowly start to close the door. Is this okay?
It's okay now.
I catch the door. You people leave quite a week.
Push you in, and I close the door, and I sigh, and I say, I thought we had a disguise going, but nobody's doing it. That was in common.
We don't need it for him.
Oh, we found the.
Yeah. And we found the Blackguard Ranger.
No.
Good. Can we go now?
I look
Or
to
is our
you.
job done?
And I say, we are not slaves with him in the room, apparently.
What?
Okay. I'm not
That
a
was
slave
our
without
disguise.
you
The
either.
king of Thermocath allows slavery once more. I knew I chose the right path.
I think it is more the Baron here does not outlaw it. Simply cover took this into the city.
Ah, I understand. He says, and you? And Nullius says, I am Knight Paladin
Oh, yeah.
Nullius
Oh, is he
of the
with us?
Church of Dawn in Greenway. And Anthony says, right. You and your titles, you paladins. He says, you say you are no friends of the Baron. What is it then that you seek to do here?
We know that he's not supposed to be in power. He has abused it, and we are here to right it somehow.
There also appears to be a worship of some strange dark god. I don't think I'm going to allow that to stand either.
Yes, that dark god is exactly why I've been sent here. We're not sure what it is, but we've heard tell. Strange stories.
What have you heard?
Stories of men going mad. Men gaining power beyond any possible super soldiers, they called them.
Good. Right.
Didn't we take care of one dark god already?
Who?
You mean the dragon?
Yes.
No.
He was worshipped as one.
Yes.
Fair.
It seems there were those who worshipped him.
Right. Well, oh, by the way, question. I meant to ask you this. Whenever you were talking about the king allowing slavery once more, are we talking about the one in Thermocap?
Yeah.
When
Which
did Aegherdt
he
allow
does-
slavery?
He didn't,
Didn't.
Oh.
but he heard you mention slaves.
Yeah. Yeah, Aegherdt would not have been pro.
Yeah,
really
not at all.
So he
His
doesn't
own
really
war
know
hero.
everything about Aegherdt.
Right.
Just, okay.
He knows who Aegherdt is.
Okay.
And I mean, he would. That's why he
How
was
old
kind of
is this
surprised by that.
Is he
This
a
guy,
young
I mean,
human?
he's fairly young. I'd say he's in his early 30s.
So he is a human.
Looks about like that.
He's got a mad grimace on his
yeah,
face.
look at that.
This is what he looks
I
like.
love that
Dude.
face.
Where's the
Good,
Where's
good work.
the camera?
Good work, Nick.
No, it's that one.
Bottom right, yeah.
All right. Okay. All
It's
right.
so delayed. Yeah, he looks like that.
That's the guy.
Great.
Good.
Man, you should do this for a
It
while.
wouldn't focus.
He says, "What business then do you have here? You say you want to depose the Baron? And what is your plan?"
Well, so far we just need more information.
Well, I can tell you that this house that he's built here in town, and he sort of heads to a small shuttered window and pulls the shutters, and he gestures to the one that Lucky Bennett said was the Baron's new building.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I can tell you something dark goes on down there, though I'm not sure what. As for the castle, I don't know."
Well, and you think that the Baron somehow heads this dark dealings in his new building?
Perhaps. People come and go from there, and every time they're changed. He shutters the window again and lights a small candle in the center of the room, which now provides the only illumination. And he says, "There's..." he says, "There's certainly strange goings on there."
Do you think that he is just doing this for profit, that he is just taking monetary gain from it, or
No,
does he
I
have...
think he's doing this for power. I think he's making a power play, using the chaos in his strategic position at the line to situate himself to come out on top at the end of this war.
He's a distraction, nothing more. He's taking forces from both armies.
Currently, yes. But that distraction could change the course of the entire war.
That's why we're trying to do something about it, but you caught us whenever we didn't really know anything. And what are you trying to do?
I came here to investigate and report back to determine if something needed to be done.
And what did you determine?
Well, that's what he's for. And he gestures to Cooper. He says, "Currently, the situation is working in our favor. The king's army is distracted. We have a shot at taking Aegherdt himself."
Good luck.
Yes, good luck indeed. I've heard that Aegherdt is quite the warrior.
I've heard that as well.
I don't know that we'll be trying anything. That's up to, of course, the Iron Duke.
I've heard that name before.
So you want to know what this man knows?
Yes, he is, after all, the nephew of the Baron. And failing that, a nice ransom never hurt.
Did you try asking him what he knows? He would very likely tell you nothing. And he would not like to.
So I've heard. But he is important to certain people, and that's why I brought him here.
Well,
If nothing else, it would distract Guard Captain Blackwell, so that I could investigate where his eyes aren't looking.
So this place that we're in right now, it's not the actual mansion, is it?
No. It's like in the old days there would be like a house, right? And when you'd get married, especially if you, or when your father-in-law would die, you would build an extra bit on top of your house or next to your house. That was sort of like a private section for your mother-in-law.
Okay.
And so this is on top of that house, and it looks like there is a trap door in the bottom, but it looks like he's boarded it up. Or someone boarded it up.
So it doesn't appear to be connected in any way.
Right. It looks like basically this was an abandoned spot that he has been using as his forward operating base.
Okay.
With an expensive lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you do see the lock on the ground, and it looks like it's not local steel. And it looks like he probably brought it.
we can always question him now.
He says, yes, we could. I was just about to do so when you gave chase.
Well, then let's make sure that he's entirely honest then. And I just kind of, with the haft of the wrapped spear that I'm carrying, draw a circle around the room that we are standing in, and it flashes once with light and then just glows dimly.
Oh no.
There you go.
Now he will not lie.
All of my secrets. I'm so worried.
Only if you...
Just don't
Don't
talk.
ask me any
Yeah,
questions.
just don't say anything.
Nobody
You
ask me
just
any
can't
questions.
knowingly lie.
Are you
it doesn't
saying that
compel
in
you to say
common?
things.
No.
Nobody ask me about it.
He says, right then. And he blows out the candle and puts
by the way, everybody make a charisma save.
No, fair enough.
Alright.
Do we have to, or can we just let it happen?
I mean, you can just let
Wow.
it happen.
I don't care.
What am I saving against?
Being able to lie.
Dude,
Okay.
totally.
What's the DC?
You totally can.
Wow.
Did you roll a nat 20?
Nat
Yeah,
20.
she
So did the ranger. Nullius and the kid Cooper both failed with a 7.
I got 21 on
I
my.
share a knowing glance with the ranger. I'm just like, yeah, I know. I know.
And I actually know which person passed
Yeah.
and which one failed. So I kind of look at you and go,
And
I'm
I
very
did.
curious
I did
how
not
I
resist. Just so you
Let's see
know.
what my 21.
Says nothing beats a wizard's pride. Then
that must
once,
be true.
Once the
As far as
candle's
I'm
up, right? Once the candle's up, he pulls a sack over the guy's head and he lowers his own hood. And he leans in close and shoving a hand underneath the sack, a hand that has some kind of rag in it. He squeezes and you see a couple drops of something drip out, and then he pulls the rag away and you hear, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh.
No gods here, friend.
Who are you? That's a fellow's voice.
Keep talking, dude.
I'm giving myself away rather quickly. We are simply here to ask you a few questions.
No, me? What questions would you need to ask of me?
Well, our new friend here has more questions for you than us. We simply dropped in for a visit. Thank you for having us.
Do the creatures who are in this know that it's been cast?
No.
remember.
I mean, especially
I think
since he was
He was unconscious.
unconscious, so
Yeah.
he probably has no idea.
Okay. And if he wants to lie, he has to make a save, right?
He already made his save.
Oh, I thought it was each time you lie,
I
you make a
think-
save.
No. On a failed save, a creature cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
I see.
For an hour.
Oh. A creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma save. On a failed save, it doesn't say that they can repeat the save or anything, so I guess that's just sort of it.
Okay.
Unless you want to have him do it every 6 seconds.
No, I don't want to do that. So he's sitting there. Oh, what did you say?
I basically passed the buck to the ranger.
You are in the presence of at least 2 who are skilled in the arts of interrogation and torture. Choose your words carefully, for we will know a lie if we hear one.
All right.
I sort of scoff,
Oh,
and I'm like,
wonderful. Then you hear the ranger as he leans in. I've come all the way from Lythe for you, Cooper. He says,
Is that his alter ego or is it
he says, do you know who I am?
Turns out he's Valshir.
And he says, what? No, but I don't know anyone in live. And he says, good, good. Your uncle has been causing trouble for all sorts of people. Do you know what sorts of trouble he's been causing? And he says, well, yes, of course, but wait.
Yes.
What was that? And he says, what was what?
I'm sure it was nothing. We were simply having a friendly conversation.
Well, as I was saying, yes, of course I know. What is going on?
I told you we would know one if we hear one. Your silence is telling.
Please, you are simply telling us you know what is there?
Right then, well, I might as well drop the voice.
What?
There's too many people.
Is this Cooper now?
This is Cooper.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, if we're all dropping voices.
Do you actually say that?
No.
Okay.
he says, so, who are you? How'd you find me out?
Oh, friend, we are asking the questions here.
That's true.
Yeah, well, now that I know where I am, I don't have to answer.
Does he know where he's?
He's probably just decided that he's in a zone of truth.
Because he kept trying to lie and it wasn't working.
We can compel you to speak, you know.
Right. Well, that's what the old soul Matthew said, too.
Which Soul Matthew was that?
Oh, this was years ago. I was a mercenary fighting over in Zolmath.
How old are you?
Older than I look. I've got one of those faces.
It's an easy question. Surely you can answer it with a straight answer.
42.
Great.
Yeah, and you know this guy, he looks like he's maybe 20.
I sympathize.
Are you 600 or
It
something?
says,
Something like that.
my mother was an elf, so...
Your mother was what?
An elf.
You hide the future as well.
Yeah. Yeah, had my ears rounded off. Didn't lighten it up.
Ow.
I sympathize again.
Would you ever do that?
I look very uncomfortable, yeah. This is like not. I'm not okay with this.
Well, I don't have to leave the pleasantries out of the way, as we were asking. What is this that you know? About the Baron's doings, what he has been working on.
All right. You know what? I think let's just get down to it and not be so general. His new building that he made, it's serving some dark purpose, right? What is it for?
Well, normally buildings are to protect the things inside and keep them out of the rain.
Yes, yes. But we heard tell of some dark dealings, maybe dealing with some cultish activity, maybe.
I'm sure you did.
Right, and what is your assessment on that?
My assessment is that it makes sense that you would have heard that.
Your zone of truth doesn't prevent me from strangling him, does it?
No.
Nothing.
And I think he knows that as well.
Right.
No. Friend, strangulation is not the most effective method of torture. Prevents the windpipe from speaking. However, prisoners do begin to squeal when you begin with their fingernails.
Fingernails are a good start.
How is he sitting down?
At this point, he's on his butt and he's leaned kind of against the wall.
His legs?
Yeah, and his legs are just sort of up, like his knees are up, and he's got his hands tied behind his back.
Is there any way I could get, you know where I'm aiming, but, on the ground? But,
Yeah, you can do that.
between the legs?
Just really close.
Can I throw an
Yeah.
axe?
Does he still
I
have the hood
don't
over
say
his head?
anything.
He does.
Oh.
I don't say anything. I just throw an axe.
Does she just roll a regular roll?
Please crit fail. Please crit fail. Oh, she didn't,
Ooh,
but...
but it's +6, so it's like a 10.
Okay.
Wait.
It gets about a foot away.
Oh,
So, you know, it's between the legs, but it's not...
It's like, just past the knee.
Yeah, so I don't say anything. I just throw it.
Oops.
No.
Slip of the fingers.
You ought to pick that up.
Should I do it again?
The fingernails, you say?
The fingernails, I suppose. It seems one of us is getting a little more energetic. We should keep a steady pace. If you would.
Establish the pace, good doctor.
I guess I'll pull the kit off of my belt.
All right.
Now we're doing torturing. So we're the good guys.
Okay, I wasn't really. I was just scaring. I don't know if I'm okay.
Kobe,
with
what
this.
tools does the torturer's kit contain?
Oh, all sorts.
Yeah,
It's
all
got all
sorts.
sorts
If
of fun
you can
ones.
imagine it, it's worse.
There you go.
It's worse.
Cool. So I'm gonna imagine that there's one that's you get them often in like nail care kits, but
Yeah.
this is just worse. So there's a metal shaft, and at the end is almost like kind of a spade.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
saying.
And so at the end of the shaft is flattened off,
Okay.
as though it was intended to be tapped, as indeed it is.
Yeah.
And so I guess he's got his hands behind
So
him.
you untie him, basically pull it up.
Mhm.
All right, you put one under his finger and he goes. "Ah."
Well, you have only to speak.
Yeah, well.
I don't like
We have lots of chances.
Yeah, well.
Please, keep it down. We're trying to meet peacefully.
Yeah, well, a bit late for that, huh? All right, go on. I'll do that.
I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving. Bye.
I can't take it.
So you're leaving the room?
Yeah.
As you head outside, you can see that same guy with his nightcap is kind of leaning out the door, looking up.
Before, since you said that, I turn to you and I say, I'm not used to them screaming. And they just let me leave.
Fair.
And that guy's just looking up. He says,
I say,
"Good night, miss."
I talk to him, and I just sort of like put my skirt back a little bit. I'm just like
To
I'm
show up.
intimidating
To
him.
show to show leg or an axe.
An axe.
Okay, I didn't know if you were
I'm
attempting to
wearing
awkwardly.
pants.
I didn't
What
know if
the
you were.
heck?
I
I'm
was.
trying to say this.
I thought you were trying to awkwardly flirt, forgetting that you had pants on. I thought that was just a thing you were doing.
No, but I will remember that for the future.
All right.
He says,
That's a good one.
"Right, that's what a weird night." And he heads back inside.
Set it under the second one now.
He says, "You're gonna get the guards on you."
We have one right here.
Here's a point.
Well, we can always do this outside in. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts,
Okay.
so I can read his surface thoughts.
All right. His surface thoughts. He's
Ow.
singing the hymn of Night Cleric Eobard in his surface thoughts.
handy.
Yeah.
Whatever keeps you at peace. I'll take the next
You
one.
probing deeper?
Not yet.
The new building. What is it for?
As I said, normally there to keep rain off of things inside.
You really want to keep it a secret, don't you?
Well, I just think that I'm not as scared as you as I am of them.
Why?
If you saw them, you'd be the same.
He's telling something now.
And so, yeah, he's not as scared of us as he is of them, even though we've got him and have him with 2 fingernails off.
In fact, I bet they're watching right now.
Someone please wait.
I would like to use my divine sense again.
All right.
So 60 feet,
You don't sense anything.
including hallowed or unhallowed ground.
Right.
Cool. Desecrated, I suppose.
Good for them. I bet they're enjoying this.
Knowing them, they probably are.
I think he wants a third.
As soon as he does the third, I'm gonna probe deeper.
Or just like in time.
Ah! You sense at that moment basically just pain. And then for just a brief moment, you see in your mind just a flash of a dagger being driven into the heart of some guy who's like tied to an altar and chained down, and that guy screams as the dagger's being driven, and then you're back to the song.
I see. I suppose we will have to lay him down for the next procedure.
What?
Could you pull the elf back in? It sounds like we will be performing some surgery today.
Okay.
All right. I go out and try and find
That's not what I tried.
UI.
All right.
I'm just outside the door.
Huh?
I'm just outside the door.
Okay. I tap you, and it seems that the fellow has use of you.
Okay. And I walk in and I see that he's.
I guess I've got him laid down now.
And I ask, did we?
I've got his fingernails out of the way so they're not in contact with the ground. This is gross.
Okay.
Did we get what we needed?
You're practiced in the medical arts. Could you perform any surgeries on this man? Perhaps to correct his arteries.
I looked at him and I'm conflicted because, like.
How so?
What have we conversed in before? Dwarvish?
We can do Dwarvish.
Old
We can do
We
Old
did
Speech.
old speech and
But
Velvet.
we've tried Old Speech and he knows that one,
Yeah.
which makes
The
sense.
ranger knows that one.
Yeah. Oh, right, but Cooper.
This guy you don't know.
Cooper could.
He was unconscious.
We can always ask him if he speaks Dwarvish.
I suppose I could, but
He's still
I'm
got the
not
hood over
used
his
to
face,
them
though. I'm
being
looking.
awake. It might be difficult.
I look at you and mouth.
I don't know if message is concentration. Let me double check that real quick before I message you.
I believe my friends are getting impatient with you. The ranger says to him.
I'll cast message and tell you. It seems as though he is very afraid of some altar in his home that has to do with plunging daggers into the heart. If we can simulate this situation, perhaps we can eke more out of him.
You see him sort of tense up for a moment, and Nullius looks right to you, and he mouths.
He mouthed, "This is wrong," by the way, audience.
Do something.
I pull Nullius out of the building just for a
This
second.
is wrong.
Close the door. It's not something that I enjoy. No. But
Oh, I was really hoping you would be like, "Ah, look, there's something outside."
wait,
What?
I need
Evildoer!
away. But if he knows something that can lead us to the Baron or whatever darkness has infested this place, we must know it. I mean to do no permanent harm to the man, and I will heal him as best as I can before we send him on his way.
Using the weapons of the enemy against the enemy.
I'm a silencer.
And so their methods are valid for you?
I can only do what Lorimir has given me.
This troubles me. But if the methods of the enemy prove useful, then Lorimir, help us. I suppose that is what we must do. But surely there must be another way. We must find another way first.
Well, I'm open to suggestions.
It's just y'all two, right?
Yeah, it's just
That's
do it.
him, no.
No, you're just gonna waterboard him with a dagger.
He says, I've nothing. You're right. Lorimir, help us. Methods of the enemy it is.
I have nothing that he's afraid of. Pain doesn't even seem to be working. The fellow thinks that he can draw something out of his mind, something he was afraid of from the dark building. Something to do with, I believe, a ritual sacrifice from the plunging of a knife into people, I believe is what he said.
Verbatim, almost.
He won't have enough time to pull it off.
Whoa, what?
Why?
Can you think the man's thoughts, if this is the case, the man's thoughts won't linger for long enough. You'll have to keep him alive. I can help.
What do you mean?
He walks in the room and he says, right, fellow.
Oh, heck.
And he leans down and he grabs the guy by both of the shoulders. And he says, plunge your dagger.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just pull a real thin. It's a thin needle.
Okay.
And I'll just slowly
Guy says,
plug it in.
that's not gonna be enough, huh? Come on. You wanna do it, go full hog. Whole ham, as it were.
But if I did that, it would be a shock to your system. The longer this takes, the more pleasant the results.
Right, well, enjoy, you sick bastard. I ain't giving you nothing.
Or we could just kill you.
Just kill me.
Fine. And I just pull a knife free.
And you slam it into his heart.
Mhm.
Nullius, immediately his hands start to glow as he, one point after the other of lay on hands, keeps him alive. Do you delve deeper? You can see that he's literally dying. He's being pulled back from the veil of death every second. And Nullius is going, do it quickly! And for a moment, you can see someone walking down into this building. There's an altar. A dagger's plunged into this person's heart. And as it does so, the dagger just sort of like where blood should just be sort of pooling out, it bubbles up and starts to sort of boil all over the body, and the person screaming even after death. The dagger's twisted and pulled out, and the wound stitches itself immediately. The eyes roll back in the head, and when they roll back down, they're just black, smoky circles. And then you see against the wall this altar with a goat's head mounted on it. And the vision's over. You come back out, and Nullius kneels next to the guy, and he's dead. Nullius takes out his holy symbol, kisses it, and presses it to the guy's head, and he says, Loramir, protect him, and forgive me for what I've done.
Oh, we were gonna kill him? I thought we were gonna not on the last one.
He kisses it one more time, and he puts it away.
So the guy's dead.
He's dead now,
Okay,
yeah.
well, that's unfortunate. Well, I think we got what we came for. Let's all go rest.
And what is it that you
Yes,
found?
of course, I should further explain, and I'll explain what I saw.
Because
Alright.
we're like, well, no, he just died. He's just, it was horrible, and now he's dead. And you're like, well, good enough. Home then?
That will work.
Pancakes?
Nullius has this look of just intense pain on his face, and the ranger says, so, seems we're right. Some sort of dark ritual here.
Can I comfort Nullius?
What do you want to say?
Well, I'm just sort of gonna be there. I feel like this isn't a moment where you talk to someone.
Probably not.
I think you just,
Yeah.
you know, you're just like,
Fair.
and you know, I'm a mortician.
So as you kind of touch his shoulder, he just sort of tenses for a moment. And then he reaches up and he puts his hand on yours and he pats it and he says, it's all right.
I
It
nod.
did not feel as wrong as I might have thought.
Internally, that's weird. Externally,
Hold on to the wrongness.
I nod.
Yes. It's what keeps us from being them.
Yes, you're right.
At least
It's
the
only... I suppose it did work. I can live with that. Aye. He sort of swallows and he says, I can live with that. Loramir, forgive me. And he stands up and he leaves the room.
Oh, bye, friend.
Well, Nullius is going Oathbreaker before this is all.
Oh boy.
Well, I suppose now we can... After we rest, we can go and check out the building ourselves, provided it's not as heavily guarded as we might think it is.
Strange sacrifices, bloodless, black-eyed corpses.
I know you're itching to get in there.
Sounds like some form of necromancy, says the ranger. He says, we've fought quite a bit of that in the waste.
Which one's your real voice?
This one. It's actually from Live.
Fantastic.
One of those dolts? No, not me.
I hold out my hand and I say, by the way, the name's Boss UI. Nice to meet you.
Boss. Ah,
This one we hanging.
Priest of the Black. He takes your hand and he says, Theo is the name.
Yes. Priest of the Black. Nice to meet you, Theo.
Well,
So,
interesting.
I suppose that you're going back and reporting, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose that may be what I need to do.
Help us. We are friend down today.
We'll probably go a little bit more interactive with it. See what we might find
more hands-on, you know.
inside.
Well, I suppose I could keep an eye on that. But yes, whatever we find out, I will have to take my leave then. I'm afraid the king is waiting on my report.
So is ours, I think.
A problem for later then.
Who's our king? The other one?
You're more on his side.
You're probably
Yeah.
on his side.
So
Aegherdt for me, Iron Duke for him. And
Okay.
you.
And Aegherdt for him and Nullius.
Well-
Yep, for sure.
Sir
You got
Theo.
no dog
Whatever
in this
keeps me
race.
moving, man.
And what are we going to do with Cooper here? Just leave him and let the Baron find him?
He'll probably hang some poor sap for him in the morning. Better some poor sap than us.
True.
Should we move the
That's why I chose this place. Poor sap lives underneath it. And he starts pulling up the boards.
Wait, what?
The boards that were covering the trap door, he starts pulling them up.
The Cooper lives in the trap door?
No, this is the house on top, and he had the trap door boarded up.
Oh,
so
it was on top. Yeah,
Right.
Okay, great. I was like, dude, that's terrible.
and he doesn't live. This guy doesn't live here. Neither of them do.
Right.
Just some poor guy.
Right. Theo just chose this spot as a good
Yeah,
like,
okay, great.
forward operating base, and he was like, "Somebody lives down here. I'll blame that guy."
No, I don't
Ah.
think so. Is there somewhere? I mean, we're on top of the buildings. Is there? I mean, there's got to be like a refuse dump in a city this size.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly small, but yeah, there is. There is.
How far is it? Especially if we're in a place where there's just some poor sap.
We're not
So
by.
we might be in a poor district of the town.
We're not.
I mean,
by
it's
Bluff.
a small town. I mean, it's important. It's strategically important, but it's small.
No water here, right? Because this is in between the mountains.
Right. This is like on the mountains.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He says. Or you're just looking around, or you're asking about it?
Looking first, and then I'll ask if I don't see
Alright.
it.
So looking out the shutters, you don't immediately see anything.
I'll ask. Then.
He says.
Where do they keep their refuse?
He says, "Good question. I thought I saw some over near Terran's yard."
Is that the dog? The dog?
No, that's Shink's doghouse.
Oh, okay.
Shink's doghouse. Terran's yard is it's got the stable near it.
Let that guy go down. He's got the puppies.
No, a different guy.
No, it's another yard.
Terran's the other one that sells mounts and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't care about him.
That'll work. How far is that from here?
Oh, it's not too far. He says, "You want to avoid all those guard patrols."
I'm not the one to do it.
I will
Nor
be
am
going
I.
back to the inn.
I not.
You're
Best
the
of luck to
two
you.
sneakiest
luck.
person.
He says, "That in, have an extra
expected as
bed."
much, I suppose.
Well, I'll help you.
Oh,
Won't
yeah.
be too much.
I paid for a room, but I'm sleeping outside with my puppy. I just.
What about it?
You just have him carrying him.
He's just in her belt. He's in a little bag, just
No,
swinging.
I've got so many many pouches? He's in a pouch. He's like a purse dog right now.
He's in a puppet.
You know,
Pat his head.
maybe do you think Crag would like him?
I was wondering when you were gonna think about that. I didn't want to do the dispose of the body in the dog yard again because I did that in one of your sessions.
You did.
But you raise a fair point.
I don't know
It's
if
a
he's
big dog.
super carnivorous like that, but
I look at that dog. Is it here? Or
No,
is it
it's
not?
back
it's,
there.
He's tied up. I didn't take him when he.
But that dog looks super carnivorous,
He's
right?
really big.
well, I just don't know if you like see the human and be like, oh yeah, I want some
It's
of
meat.
that.
It's dead.
Yeah, but if it doesn't eat all of it, then your dog's gonna go down, and the Baron will want the dog's head.
Okay.
We had to pay for the dog.
A
It's
lot
kind of
of
expensive.
money.
Oh, okay. Well then, no. I mean, the dog is
You're
good.
a dog. You're into your dog.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like.
It's not a person. That's fair.
I mean, yeah, kind of. It can't talk, so I don't know. I don't
Speak
know.
with animals.
I don't know. I can't do that. But at least
Next week, Justin's gonna awaken a Triceratops.
That's gonna be rad.
at least if he can like eat off like most to where it's like not recognizable or something. I don't know. And then he just be branded as missing.
Oh, that's fair. If it could take the
The
Face.
and the no, they don't have technology like that. It's just a face.
Yeah.
And get rid of the clothes.
Yeah, if he was wearing something recognizable, we can take that. And then if his
Got a big,
face is
stupid-looking cape.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
yeah,
Can
we
I
take
have
the
that?
big stupid. Don't do
I'm
that.
not gonna wear it, but I might wear it.
With her
other
welder's
towns.
clothes and this big stupid cape and a fishbowl on her
Let's
head,
put it on
and then
the
she's
dog.
just Mysterio.
So is that what we're doing?
I kind
If
of.
you've got a big dog, we could set it loose after it's eaten him a bit. Say it got loose in the night, make it look like an accident.
And he's the only dog who is capable of doing this.
No, but if he was the only one that was loose, they'd kill the dog.
We could say the puppy did it.
The hold of the puppy, and it is making the most adorable face on the planet.
It is very
And I just
clear.
look at you like,
He looks at you. Oh no, he's not affected by the zone of truth. Never mind.
Yeah.
We can't say we can't
It
just
was-
say that the other
I was
dogs who
definitely
did it can't be Crag. We paid money for him.
You're quite attached to this dog, huh?
What?
Very sarcastically, it says you're very attached to this dog.
It was quite expensive.
I haven't made a connection yet, but he was expensive.
Love me! Oh, the dog's just
That's what real
really.
love is all about.
Paying good money, then loving later.
They are
Yep,
attached at the
I've met a
coin
few
purse.
women like that.
Oh, good, good.
Nice.
What did you say?
They are attached at the coin purse.
Inspiration.
Now.
Oh, bull poop.
I don't see the problem with leaving a body. Or,
yeah, me neither.
Then leave it here.
You don't see the problem with leaving someone to swing from the gallows.
will not be the first murder unpunished. I certainly will not be going down for it myself. I wouldn't imagine you would like to either.
No,
What if we just like
I
make
don't want anyone to.
Excuse me. What if we just make them smell
Forgive
like
me.
booze and
For
then
some reason, I thought you better than that.
leave them somewhere? It smells like booze. and
I've
it's
seen
fucking
too many
accident.
things to be better than that.
Why don't we do that? Put him by the pub in tavern area and just say he got into a drunken scuffle and got more than he asked for.
I mean, it was just a knife. Well, he's got his fingernails missing now. That's unfortunate.
Still possible. There's a new building.
Yeah, I know of a lot of bar fights where people peel off the fingernails of their opponents.
Oh, come on. It has to do with the type of person he is and who he is. They could do that if they wanted
I'm gonna pull the
information
knife
like
out and cut
us.
those fingers off.
Oh, great.
That makes it a bit more believable.
Yeah.
Fine. Still, it would work. Let's do it.
Oh, there's blood everywhere.
And he tosses the fingers to you and says, "Snacks, for your dog."
Yes.
Finger food!
Thank you. Do I have like a bag of colding or something?
A bag of colding?
That's the
I don't
best.
think we do. don't think we have one of those.
Make it and give it to me.
Didn't y'all get it? Was
There's
that?
a bag of preservation.
We have that in Stride, yeah.
Oh, that's Strahd. Okay.
Yeah, we have that.
Right.
Haley's in charge of that.
I know, that's why I knew of it.
The bag of coal.
I know your guys' stuff more than my own.
Your guys is.
And
So how far is it away to take him to a tavern area?
It wouldn't be too hard. I mean, it's pretty close.
Okay, so we wouldn't have to worry too much about guards.
Not too much.
Okay.
You'd have to worry, but not too much.
Right. Seems like it's still us two, so
Yes, well.
I guess they're not very stealthy.
we got to get there first.
Mm-hmm.
And pour booze on them.
Right. And we're taking him to the.
It's the tavern area.
The most like rough and tough tavern. So like the one we were staying at was not the worst one, right?
Well, there's two other ones. There's the Conqueror's Blade,
Right.
and then there's the Lodge.
The lodge is where the rangers.
The Lodge has rangers, hunters, things like that. It is known for raucous drinking. And then there's the
well. What was the well one?
Dead
That's
Wells
where
where
we
y'all
are.
were staying.
Oh, that's where we're.
That's
staying?
Let's
known
not
for
do
the
that
for the lucky
No, let's not do
the
that.
lucky owner. And then the Conqueror's Blade is favored by town guards.
So let's do the other one. The lodge it is. The lodge it is.
We have to do the lodge. They won't suspect us if we're right freaking by them.
The closer we are to danger, the farther we are from harm.
That's the last thing they would expect.
Okay, so let's go to the lodge then. However
All right.
far that is.
What a great
The two of you roll me a stealth check.
Yep.
Man, should I go with you?
I'm not doing that.
Smoke
Stupid
me
dice.
with me.
I'm like,
With me.
I'm not gonna go with
When you
him.
exit, by the way, you
I'm
see
gonna
Nully
be-
is standing out there.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna be
He's
close
left.
enough
That's not a surprise to me.
No.
that if trouble happens,
You could go
I
running.
could be there.
Okay.
Not bad.
So,
What you got?
11.
12 for me. Not bad.
Well,
It's pretty good for me. What is that? What is he showing us?
an 18,
It's a good old 18.
Uh-oh.
and they have a +4 to their perception.
Uh-oh, here comes Donner.
So, two,
Help! Help! You help! Do
Fire! Murder!
help! No, just start yelling my brother or the bear. And I
You're
can
not
help
here.
him.
Go
He's
away.
hurt.
You're not here.
So she's nearby. You see two guards see you, and one of them they're kind of at a distance at the moment, probably 20-30 yards off. And one of them says, "All right, what sight you got there?"
Help! Help! We need your help! I
They,
just kind of wince and just like.
the guards come running and they say, "What's going on?"
We found this one. He looks hurt. I don't know much about healing. Is he still alive?
Roll a deception or performance.
He's losing a lot of blood. He's losing a lot of blood.
Is he helping me?
We can't. We
Yeah,
tried to
he's
get
helping
a blanket
Come on,
out of the performance.
Oh, okay, good. 19.
He says, "Right, well,
Where
oh
can
my
we
God.
go?
That's the Piren's nephew. This way. No, in fact, where are you staying in town? You're outsiders, yes?
Yes.
Where are you staying?
Oh, which one?
The
well.
The well.
Right, we'll take it from here. Thank you, citizens. And they,
Yes, sir.
They, one of them, like fireman, carries the guy, and they go headed towards the keep.
I hope he gets well. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Sorry.
Oh, that was unintentional.
Oh, it was
That's
unintentional.
All right,
Wow.
all right.
See,
And
I told you!
they take him and go running off.
Well,
Help is
that's
the
not
best!
quite what we were after, but it's
I catch up to you guys.
better than nothing.
And I pat you on the back, and I'm like, what a great plan!
I'm getting better at the accent, I think.
Yeah, they get us out of trouble a lot.
That was really stupid. Let's go back to the inn.
Yep. Out of trouble. Out of trouble.
I still have to stay outside because I have the dog, so. Good night, guys.
When you get there, Ben
Get my
is
gold
like
back.
drying off some of the water that he sloshed around that she called fire.
I keep.
He didn't pull it out of the well, that's for sure.
Looks up and he says, "You find those people you were looking for, the kidnapper."
One moment, and I pull a gold out of my pouch and throw it into the well like as fast as I can. And I'm just like, okay, what?
What's that voice you're doing?
What?
You must be drunk.
So sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. I'm okay now.
He gives you a really curious look.
Oh, wait.
I walk up to him and I have my hand outstretched to like hold and then like grasp. And in Elven, loud enough so he can hear, so he can translate. I say,
I don't speak Elven.
well, you, whoever.
I'm upstairs.
He's not here.
Do we have you communicating in Elven or Old Speech?
I can't remember. I just started talking.
We were
I think
talking
it-
in Narween.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm gonna invent whatever you're saying, so go
Okay, I say, this is what I'm actually saying. I say, I'm sorry for earlier for yelling fire. It was the only word I understood in common.
for it. She says that, that her hands are cold.
I look to you like you're stupid, and I look at you, and I have a very sorry face, and I shrug, and...
She's awful sorry about that.
Right. Well, I think your dog will be needing you.
Okay. Goodbye.
How's mine doing?
I don't
We
know.
ate 3 of the horses.
I go outside to check on Craig.
He's sleeping.
He hates you
He's
so
sleeping.
much.
Did we even get this dude's name?
Theo was his
Yeah,
name.
I
you did.
asked.
Yeah, you did. Good on you.
All right, we had a long night. I think we got a lot of customers, and I am looking forward to tomorrow. Maybe some resupplying. It's a very good venture here.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben. I just had to make a wish, and now I'm going to go to bed.
Well, I can see you're very good at spinning yarn.
Ooh.
So-
That's not good.
I hope for all the best tomorrow in your business ventures.
Oh yeah, I have a blanket, and it's a little bloodied. Just a little bit.
And he gives you this really suspicious look and returns to his room.
Okay. Can't stay here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, the guards know we're here.
I know, we told him the real
Mhm.
place.
Well, what we're staying at the Conqueror's Blade, where you are. You would have seen us, Donner and some dwarf.
We could have said the lodge.
Yeah, but then they would have
They
been
wouldn't
there, and we
believe
wouldn't
us.
have been there, and then we would have been targeted. Like that, like if you just go...
They'd have been like, look for Donner and some dwarf, and then we're in trouble.
Well, it would save maybe them finding us here
Oh well.
all night. Okay, well,
Sorry.
I am super
Super
nervous
bad.
now. So, right before I go to bed, I'm gonna check on Craig one more time. I go and check on Craig.
Right.
still sleep.
Think I might just like unleash him and then just sort of walk away.
Okay, is that what you want to do?
Oh.
I don't know.
As you near, he kind of goes.
Oh.
Who's my big boy?
Stay asleep. I love you for this sleep. On second thought, I go back.
Alright.
You are so scary.
Alright.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Okay, can we like convene in the morning?
I would like to.
In the
lieu
morning?
of sleeping.
We gotta get
as
through
much,
the night.
I can
Um,
get up.
During
No,
during
I'm
the rest,
outside.
unless it's interrupted, but during most of the rest, I'm gonna be, instead of sleeping much, I'm gonna be just kind of sitting and in prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel very good about the thing we did.
I'm meditating.
Good at it.
I don't need to sleep.
Same.
I don't like it.
As much as I can,
Bad
I'm
for you.
looking out my window and like. Is there like a chair that I can brace the door with?
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
And every time, like, you're watching out the window and you see after a while 2 guards coming straight towards the
I'm
building.
outside.
And then they just continue on
Hmm.
with their routine.
This is awful.
Every about
I hate
half
it.
hour or so, you see 2 more guards come by.
It's them. I
And
know
each time, the tension builds. But
it. They're doing
throughout
this
the
on
night,
purpose.
they never come in.
hate them. I hate them all. I'm going to die or pee. I don't know which.
They're fraying my nerves. This is their torture. Oh no. The next morning they're going to take me to the keep. I know it.
I need so much coffee.
You hear at your door.
They're here to sacrifice me.
Donna,
Who's
the
that?
rest of us are downstairs getting breakfast. Are you coming? And it's only then that you realize that you've been sitting here the whole night watching out the window.
Yeah.
You must have dozed off at some point and just that sort of jolts you awake.
What? What? Yes, breakfast. Okay. I'm coming.
I'm an inspiration.
I like how you eased into the
Yeah.
voice.
Okay, great.
It went from medieval voice to sort of awful to oh my god.
And he, Nullius leads you downstairs where everyone else is having breakfast.
All right.
What's for
Talking to
breakfast?
you.
Oh, there's
Maybe
a smoked ham.
I do.
Okay, cool. We're talking
Nice.
to each other, and I'm telling you an old speech that we need to make a story, a full story that we all understand and we all know every aspect of. We were out, we found him, but where did we find him?
What are we talking about? What's this gangly goop going on right here?
It's just the slaves speaking their slave language.
Oh, yeah, they do that a lot. Right,
Yes.
Timothy?
In the old speech, I'll say, I will cut out your tongue if you continue speaking over our conversation.
He's a good servant.
Yes, he is.
Continue.
Yeah, insight check. Does Ben understand the old speech?
You see that rolling at the inside check?
So, I don't know. 6.
Hold on, I gotta do
Oh no,
that
wait,
too.
9.
Nope.
You don't even notice him paying attention to you.
Well, I got like
I just heard him say that, but he's just like polishing a glass or whatever.
Oh, that was Nullius.
Oh,
that said
Nullius.
that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I thought Ben.
That's who I was asking. Does he know old speech?
He does not.
Okay.
Or he doesn't appear
Okay,
to
good.
know.
So anyway,
Right, he just knows that you're not a slave. And so,
we found him at the lodge. Is that the story we're going
We
with?
could have easily found him behind the gate. It was unlocked. We were
we
patrolling.
didn't find him at the lodge. That won't make sense. We were. Where were we when the guards came and got us? Came and found us, just the two of us.
Y'all were on your way to the lodge.
You left that alleyway, right?
Oh, that doesn't.
But we were going the wrong way to have found him at the
Yeah.
lodge.
Right.
Well, then we can say it was the alleyway, and we were trying to find guards.
You witnessed the kidnapping. We were following the trail. We found his body.
That works.
Fingers severed.
And then if they follow the trail like we tell them to, they'll find blood in a broken down building where we broke the door down because we heard screaming, and there we found him.
And I remember.
It's at that point that down the stairs comes Theo, stretching and yawning.
I remember that
He takes a seat at a completely different table
Our
from
friend-
you guys.
Hello, man we've never seen before.
our friend Donner had said that he tried to stop the bleeding with a blanket, and I happened to have a blanket in blood, so that might cover our story a bit.
Theo walks up to the bar and he says, "Hello, can I get an ale, please?"
Oh, now he's shut.
And the bartender comes up and he says, "Sure thing, Mr. Alcacer." And he hands him a mug.
Does he look like he could be from Selma?
Well, no, yeah, I mean, Solmathi are all descended from Thrims
Oh, okay.
initially. So there's, people in all three nations have
Similar-ish.
some of the features.
as much time under the sun.
But yeah, he takes the ale and he goes, "Thank you. I hope to be on my way once this horrible conflict is settled. Or hopefully before. And he sets the ale down and he sort of, as he's sitting there at the bar, he sort of turns over his shoulder and he just sort of gives you the slightest nod as if to say, "I'm listening."
And he speaks old speech, so.
Yes, he does. He's in a part of this conversation.
What?
She found a
What?
box.
That's adorable. Sorry. So that's the story we're going with. We followed him. We followed the kidnappers, found him in the building, they were screaming. We tried to stop the bleeding with the blanket, then we got stalked by the things. That's the story?
That sounds right to me.
Just know that you're gonna have to repeat all that all over again.
Yep. That's his job. He's gotta figure a way to tell you.
Okay. Monosyllabically.
Do you speak Dwarven? What do you speak?
Do you speak Dwarven?
Who are you talking to?
I only speak Common and Norway.
I know Norween.
That's it.
Norween's Elvish. That's the type of Elvish, right?
Yeah, but you know Gueronian, don't you?
They could
Right.
get by.
Yeah,
I don't
you could
know.
understand like every other word basically.
I don't know, I'm on top of it.
There you go.
Okay, it's your
You
turn.
know all of the things.
Yeah, he's good.
I know a lot of things. Now I know Draconic.
Why do you know that one now?
Well, I got intelligence and I talked to it.
Right. And you talk to a Dargan.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so yeah. So I guess we'll let you translate that into
Yeah, I'll do
Norwegian.
that. I'll translate that in Norwegian.
So now
All
I'm gonna
right,
play.
got it. Got it.
What a beautiful language!
I haven't spoken that ever.
And yes, and yes, you should wash my socks.
What a great idea, Jimothy!
Hey, Timothy, why don't you go check my room and see if I got all my things, my belongings? You know, I think I left a pack up there or two. Maybe there's a gold for you?
Wow.
Maybe.
That's
Probably a
tremendously
copper, silver piece.
You won't know the difference, stupid elf.
I'll say in Norwegian, I'm sure I will find something.
All right. So does he go to get his
Something,
pack?
yeah.
His whole pack's right there.
Do you have any gold?
No, I carried him.
Yeah.
No, Brandon's learned his lesson from the time that I stole like 30,000 gold from him, and every time when he would, Sam was DMing the game, and every time he'd be knocked unconscious, then I'd take like 10,000 gold, and I'd be like, "My friend, I've taken the goblin came in and he ran off with all of your gold. I was only able to save this much," and I'd give him like
500.
20.
Just like a
I remember
30th.
that. I was like, oh my god, thank you. You're so kind.
Sam, do something! And Sam's just giggling. He did nothing.
So I'll bring his pack down and
Drop it.
passive aggressively hand it to him.
How does that work?
Just kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
Good work, good work. Did
When
you find
reach
anything?
out for it, you drop it.
You are flat broke.
Well, you know, yarn and all. It's come and go. But I have faith. Just like you should, Jimothy.
I have faith in gold.
Man, sass is real.
He's a priest of capitalism.
Hey, I'll take it.
So, I think we've drank this well dry. Should we go see other stuff?
Can I have my dog in here? or
Right,
do-
well, I'm sure there's much to be done in the yarn business today. Come, let us leave. Barkeep, and he tosses the barkeep coin.
It's a good ham. I toss my coin as well.
Is that what this is?
I head out.
All right.
I thought it was potato.
As you leave, Nullius says, "And where are we headed now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't understand a word that was spoken in there."
Well, and then I'll quickly relate. Basically, what we have is a cover story at this point, not a plan of action.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's important, okay?
No.
We're gonna get questioned.
we were going to be probably heading to the new building.
Right.
Is there any way that we can do that?
I suppose we just walk up.
Just
When
as
do-
ourselves? Or...
We're new in town. Came to see the sights.
The barkeep seemed to imply the other day that it was open for business.
Great. Let's go see.
Right.
Take Crag with me.
Let's.
Yeah, I got my puppy.
And we'll actually, it's a bit early, but we'll take our break right there. So, be back in 10 minutes when we announce the winner of our Prince of the Realm map as well as continue on our journey.